Welcome to the I Am Radio TV Network, featuring Emily Miller, online business mentor, coach, and Ziegler Choose to Win coach, with her new show, Connect the Dots. And now, get ready to go interactive. Welcome to the I Am Radio TV Network, featuring Emily. Well, hello, how are you? And welcome to the I Am Radio TV Network. I hit the wrong button by mistake, if you know what I mean. Greetings, and welcome to the show today. I am Jeffrey Miller. I am the founder, and I am going to be with you for a few moments for a little bit of a, I love to use the word prelude because it's an intro, right? Preface is good, but you know, when we preface, it's just before because that's a short thing. But a prelude is talking about something that's extremely valuable and important. And this is truly that to me. I'm going to be very honest with you. I am so happy to be introducing Emily's show. And I trust I'm here live with y'all today. If you would please talk to me in the chat real quick. And so let's see, make sure I got this. Okay, we're all set here now. Any comments, please? Post in the comments if you're here with us live, so I know that you can hear me this week and everything is good. All right, so getting right to it, I want to talk about Emily, and I want to be able to go into a little bit of the background of where and how Emily and I met. And what is so important about that is we met as a result of online radio. Interestingly enough, I was traveling between East Coast and West Coast on business. I was managing a network that had as many as 12 shows, and I couldn't handle it all. I couldn't do it all. And a very dear friend of ours from New Zealand said, Jeff, you need to hire my best friend, Emily. She has just moved back to New Zealand, from New Zealand to England, and I know she would love to talk to you about this opportunity. So Emily and I talked. She would move back to England. It was her sister's wedding. She had gone back, and she decided to stay in England. And from there, I can almost say the rest is history because we could write a book. But we became very close, very friendly. We eventually met after a period of time. Emily was producing shows for me in the time zones that I couldn't cover, living up in Maine, East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. She was taking care of that. If I was in LA, for example, on business, Emily was handling it there for me as well and taking care of the producing and the running of shows. She was the person in the background taking care of all the social media stuff and all the posting and everything else. Well, the interesting thing is I often wondered, how did you gain all this experience? So she told me about days of university and a master's degree in business psychology, and then going on to learn social media, and everything else is now wow. So I've got something to share with you guys. Again, I want to see some comments there. I hope somebody's going to post something to say hello. I'd love to see that for you, as I am going to share a video that I think you're going to want to see. This is rolling back the clock a bit, going back in time to Emily working for the Queen of England. So here we go.
Hello, I'm Emily Westsadler. My life purpose is to raise global consciousness by understanding and connecting people. By the time I go on the journey from London to Cape Town, I'll be 30, I'll be divorced, no mortgage, no children. We're going to work, get to see a little bit of Parliament Square. Straight ahead we've got the Department for Children, Schools and Families, and it's called the Sanctuary Building. This is where I work. This is a chance to do something incredible and different, and okay, at the moment I influence behaviour in schools through the policy that I sort of lead, but this is going to be so much wider and bigger than that, changing how people think about living their lives to really do something sustainable. I want to go on the lifeline because I want to inspire people. I want to show that there are sustainable solutions out there, that we don't have to be living in fear of the future with these environmental deadlines we're facing, that we already know the answers, we just need to apply them across the world. So I'm really looking forward to finding out what those solutions are, learning all kinds of things because I don't really know that much, and looking forward to getting to know people along the way and having some fun.
Well, there we go. And there you have it. There is the backstory, a little snippet of Emily from the past. You know, it's like going back to the future. Or is it going back? Wait a minute. Would you say that? It's going back in time, right? It's all relative because it is where Emily began. And just from there, she's going to tell you the rest of the story. And I'd love to introduce her now. My darling wife, Emily Miller. Welcome to your show.
Thank you. It's great to be here, and I hope that everyone watching can hear me. So if you could leave a comment to say hello and let me know that you can hear me too. Thank you, Jeffrey, my wonderful husband, for the amazing introduction and for sharing that video. I was reflecting on my journey, where I've been and where I am now, and how I got started almost with learning about social media. And it was because of that. A project called the Lifeline TV back in 2009 when I was interested in, you know, how do we create a sustainable world? How do we live life in a sustainable way? And they needed somebody like me, an everyday person, to travel from London to Cape Town and yeah, just share the message through video blogging, social media. So that's how I got started in learning all about the wonderful world of online promotions, if you like.
Excellent, excellent. And how we met too, as I said a little bit ago, some years later, of course, after your walkabout. How many years did you spend on that walkabout after leaving work for the Department of Education for the Queen? How many years were you before you came back to England?
So I was living and working in New Zealand almost 2 years. During that time, I had the opportunity to explore the North Island as well as the South Island. And it was actually on the South Island over the winter season, living in Queenstown, where I learned to snowboard, that I decided that I was going to be brave and courageous and become an entrepreneur and work with other entrepreneurs to help them connect the dots with social media. And yeah, just started from there, helping to build Facebook pages, helping to get people started with their Twitter accounts. And actually, during 2010 in New Zealand, they had this, I guess, event, if you like, or a competition, for want of a better word, called Follow Friday. And for a good significant amount of time in 2010, I was in the top 10 of people to follow on Twitter for New Zealand. So I was particularly proud of that.
I happen to remember that.
Yes, able to do a good job in getting my word out there about being a virtual assistant goddess at the time.
Yeah, you were blitzing social media back then, and we were both part of a group, the Pay It Forward group, and which I had started some years ago. And you know, you were part of that because our dear friend Angela Barrows,
Yes.
whom is how we met,
Yes.
that lovely lady that introduced us.
Yes.
And also came from New Zealand to Maine, to the beach in Maine for our wedding, to be your maid of honor, which is lovely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember all that back then.
Yes. And so I was very lucky.
All right. I know you've got a lot to share.
Thank you. There seems to be a little bit of a delay, so I apologize for talking over you. Yes. Got a lot to share.
I'm going to bow out. I'm going to bow out and let you have the stage, and we'll see you at the end of the show.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So it's just me now, and I can see live comments. So if you're here live and you have a question for me, I would love to take some time towards the end of the show to answer that. Right now, I'm going to be following up on what I was sharing last week on how to monetize your message, the 3 steps you need to take. So if you were with me last week or maybe not, then I will briefly recap those 3 steps for monetizing your message. And the first one is you need to know your value and know what you stand for so that you can claim the social media accounts, which are free, and basically start getting your message out there to say who you are. And for me, that is now I am Emily Miller, and you can find me everywhere on social media with that username. So if you are here, I'd love to know what you're known for, what your value is, and what your username is. So please feel free to put that in the chat, and I will follow up and look at how you're expressing yourself using the free social media accounts. So like where we are broadcasting now on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, as I mentioned earlier, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, of course. So yeah, I'd love to know more about you, my audience, where you are hanging out, where you are expressing yourself. So yeah, don't be shy. Please include where you are in the comments. And then the second step, and this is almost the more important step, because at the end of the day, we don't own Facebook, we don't own YouTube, we don't own our accounts on LinkedIn or anyway. So at any time, it could be taken away from you. So really, actually, maybe this should be the first step, is you should make sure that you are building your audience, collecting email addresses so that you have a list, because that's going to be the way that you can communicate with people and talk to your audience on a regular basis, because that's your own property. You own that. Nobody can take that away from you. So that is the second step. If I'm using my building analogy, you got to claim the land, then you got to build your home, and naturally you own that home. So that's your email list, your website. And then, once you've got that place set up, what's next? Well, you want to invite people over. You want to start having conversations with them and getting to know, so that they can get to know, like, and trust you. And social media is really brilliant for that. And people often ask me, well, Emily, where should I be focusing on? And I always say, well, what's your market research show? Are your audience on Facebook? Are they watching videos on YouTube? Are they on Instagram? We need to understand who your market is, the audience, so that we can reach them effectively. And once you are reaching them using social media, you can be inviting them to that website, to your email list, and sending out newsletters, promotions, and other interesting content that really shows the value you're adding. And of course, that's where we started. Now, as a Choose to Win Ziegler coach, I really believe that it's so important that you own your value, you know who you are. And if you have any questions about that, I'd love to help you uncover and get clarity on that, so that you can share your message with the world more effectively. And yeah, I'm not seeing any comments in the chat, so I'm not sure if that's because people are shy, or I'm just hoping that you can hear me and that you are with me watching this broadcast. So that was the recap of what happened last week. And like I said, this week I'm going to be going a bit more in depth to let people know the tools I recommend, because that's what I mentioned in my description for this week is I'm going to be helping you to save time, to save money by using the tools I've been using through all my experimentation and research, working with my clients online. And so I'm excited to be able to share that with you. And before we get going, I had the pleasure of hanging out with Kyle Wilson, who was the promoter for Jim Rohn for 18 years. And he actually used the phrase connecting the dots quite a lot, which made me chuckle, obviously, because I've also been using the phrase connecting dots since at least 2014. Because it's just a really great way of expressing how powerful marketing is when you own your value, own your worth, and you apply it in a really efficient and effective way. And he actually talked a lot about the things I shared with you last week. So, felt really good to know that he agrees with my beliefs and approach to using social media, websites, emails, etc. And so I've got a couple of notes here I'm just going to refer to, because he said a big part of being successful online is really owning your story. And that's why I felt it was important to share with you the video of where I've come from, when I used to work for the Department for Education, and then my interest and passion in traveling. And actually, through a variety of personal development tools, I really uncovered this strong passion of wanting to raise global awareness of important things that matter to me. And so one of them is working with young adults so that they have a clear identity of who they are, what their gifts and talents are, so that people maybe can get on the right path sooner. Because I know for me, last week I was sharing how for me, when I was 14, it was watching Oprah. I was influenced by seeing a TV show where Oprah interviewed a psychologist. And based on that, I then decided to study the subjects that would help me get into university, where I could study psychology and really master that particular modality, if you like. And nowadays we have this as a way of doing our own TV shows. And so you have a chance to influence others. And that was something that Carl Wilson really made clear. It's like, you have to be yourself, first of all, because that's the only way you're going to find your tribe. So when you go back and watch the beginning, if you're just joining us live, hi, John, thanks for joining us, then you'll see that I'm someone who likes to have fun, be in the moment, hula hooping, traveling the world, having adventures. And I'm going to be sharing more about the celebrities, for want of a better word, that I've been able to meet and even work with during the 10 years I've been an entrepreneur. People who are big names when it comes to personal development or network marketing, and are just on their own missions to help people be the best that they can be. And of course, for me, I'm all about who God made us to be and how we can give God the glory and live on purpose. So I see Danica is here. Hi, lovely. Thanks for joining us today. And so, it's really important that people don't pretend to be someone else, because people, they can smell that a mile away. So I am who I am. And thank you for saying that I'm awesome, and for the hearts. If you are liking this content, show me some love. It only takes burns a few calories to give me thumbs up or hearts. And if you're getting value from this, I encourage you to share it with your friends so they can get value too, because, I want to reach people to help them understand that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to earn your quirks, your weirdness, if you like, because the right people are going to find you through the power of marketing And that way you will be able to build your audience and make an impact. And of course, we all know not everybody's going to love you, and that's okay, because not everyone's meant to love you, and people will judge and people will hate. And that's actually a sign that you're doing something right, that you are taking a stand and making a difference. And that's something that I've actually blogged about. And I wonder, and I haven't tested this yet, so I'm going to see if I can share my screen, because I've got a little share screen thing. So let's see if I go share screen. Okay, so let's just go to that. And now I'm going over to my blog. So hopefully you guys can see my blog. And by the way, I have the Get the Stronger Action Guide to Overcome Stress During These Tough Times that we're living. And this is an ebook, an action guide that Tom Ziegler wrote. And I've actually got some extra bonuses when you download that. But here, more importantly, is my blog, because I wanted to share more about what I stand against, because I believe life can be easy, it can be filled with grace. So I stand against the grind, the hustle, and anything that makes running your life business difficult. I believe God created us to rest in him and to enjoy his grace and love simple choices. And I just love this quote here. When God lays something on your heart to do, your only responsibility is to start. God doesn't give you the strength to overcome. He gives you the strength while you overcome. So that's a great quote by Fred Smith, who was Zig Ziglar's mentor. And there's a wonderful book that I recommend called Grace Over Grind by Shay Vines. And then, like I shared earlier, I stand for like education, equality, making sure we leave this planet in a sustainable and live a sustainable life. I stand for the unconditional love of Jesus Christ. And I also am a big fan of keeping marketing simple. So on this page, and I'll share the link, you're going to find some links to resources that I highly recommend for entrepreneurs, particularly while we're stuck at home, so that you can get started with a very affordable and effective website plus email marketing. So yeah, just check out. I think there's some links that you can click on here. And I've also got links for like ninja tricks for branding, because it's worth making an investment so that you've got amazing templates. And if you need any help with picking your brand colors, I'd love to chat with you, because it's kind of one of the things I enjoy doing with my clients, is helping them get started fast, to pick their brand colors, to help them make amazing social media accounts and images on their websites. And I'm also a fan of joyful productivity, because, I realized, and I hope I come back to you now. Can you see me? That, oh, hey, we've got a comment here from Danica saying, I was literally just thinking about that. God gives us what we need to get through one day at a time, not all at once. He loves us enough to allow us to grow through, so we don't have to keep going through. Amen, sister. Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for posting that comment. I really appreciate it, and you. And yeah, so I have spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs who, because they don't know any better, and because someone approaches them and says, hey, how would you like this website built for you? And it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. Well, if you have thousands of dollars, good for you. Great. Pay them, get it done. I'm all about you staying in your zone of genius. However, I know a lot of people who are now entering the online world of business because of the COVID season that we're in. We're having to work from home. We're having to take what we do online. And maybe you don't have necessarily thousands of dollars to spend on creating a website. Well, the good news is in that blog article that I shared, there is the company that I have been using for several years called Insty.me, and they are amazing. They have a 14-day trial for only $1, and then monthly it's like $35 for your security line so that your website is secure and can accept payments, and also for everything that you need from having a blog, having an email, a way of collecting emails, a way of automating messages to people. So when they say yes to whatever you're offering, they get emails straight away to say, thank you so much, and here's what you've just said yes to. So it's phenomenal. I love it. And like I said, it's very cost effective. And I know I'm a techie person, so to me, it feels super intuitive, drag and drop, similar to some of the bigger name brands out there, but a little more secret, hush-hush, because only the, I guess, the video people who do a lot of Amazon sales promotions know about this. And so as someone who loves discovering great resources at great prices, that is getting really good results, people who make their money online through promoting Amazon products as an affiliate, because hint, hint, that's a really great way to make money, is to say yes to being an influencer and sharing great resources, becoming that go-to person. So here I am after 10 years of working online with six-figure entrepreneurs, and I'm sharing with you my go-to tools. So let me know if anyone here who's watching is looking at getting started fast with a website, or if you have any questions about what I've shared so far. I'm going to take a pause and just drink so I can catch my breath and wet my whistle, as they say. So not seeing any new comments, so I'll carry on. So yeah, so if you want to get known as an expert and recognized, you want to have a brand that looks awesome. And so that's why I recommend the Toolbox by the Design Hacker, another kind of underground person, although he's becoming a lot more visible now in 2020. He's actually partnered up with his wife to help entrepreneurs get started with an online program and with using live broadcasts like this to get your message out there. So I've not invested in those programs personally. However, I've seen the quality of his work and things he offers for free. So it is worth investigating that, and you will find the link in that blog that I shared. And then the other thing, and I'm going to go share my screen again. So let's do that. Okay. Hopefully you can see the blog again. This time, it's just a recap of the 3 steps to monetize your online business. You can watch last week's show because, it's very important if we use that analogy of the land, claiming your land, building your home, inviting people over. We want to make sure people can find you and build that relationship with them so they can say yes to whatever you have to offer. And so I've got here a nice visual of that, secure your land. Organic social media marketing starts with claiming your free social media accounts on all platforms. Then you build your home to have that email list and website, build your own real estate because that's what you own. And there's this thing called a funnel. Maybe leave me a comment if you've heard of the phrase funnel for online marketing, because I want to gauge where people are at and not assume that you know all the marketing terms. So let me know if you're familiar with funnels as a way of helping people to discover you and get onto your email list. And then the collecting the sales part is really the value that you add when you're sharing social media content, because that's the traffic that can lead people to the funnel for collecting the leads and converting into sales. And so, you know, there's that in the blog where people can either let me know if you're interested in having a strategy session with me or requesting join the Facebook group Living Life Fearlessly. So let's stop sharing again and come back. So Danica, I can see you're saying that you've heard of funnels. Fantastic. Delighted to hear that. So I know that we're on the same page there. And yeah, it's really just inviting people over to check out what you've got. And if they're interested, they say yes. And then they get on your email list and you can make an offer to them straight away. Maybe you've got something to sell straight away, or trial or something. And that way they can get a sample, taste experience, if you like. And I'm going to take a moment to show you something that I got involved with back in 2015. I think I became a co-author for Romance Your Tribe Online, Client Attraction in Action, which was 52 action-packed customer attracting ideas with Janet Beckers. She was one of my mentors from Australia. And basically, I got to become a co-author in a best-selling book. Her original book is also called Romance Your Tribe Online, and that's the 5.5 steps. So, you know, people like to say marketing's like romancing someone, because you don't ask people to marry you straight away on the first date. No, you take time to romance them, to get to know them before, you know, you take things a little bit further and get a bit more serious. So thank you for saying it's a great book. I'm particularly proud of it, even though it's 5 years old. I was looking back through these tips and they're still, you know, relevant to today. In fact, there's one here about conscious social media, because I do believe in heart marketing. That's very important to me, that you're intentional, you come from your heart when you're marketing online. And so that was one of my tips, like to choose to put your heart and soul in it. Be yourself, speak your truth, and use social media to practice conscious communication. And of course, you could ask yourself always, you know, it's like, what would Jesus post? Would Jesus post this? Would he be antagonizing if you're trying to be controversial or not? Or would he actually come from a place of love and respect and want to reach people who are, you know, struggling with life, right? So yeah, the point I put in here is like a whole lot of people post about what they ate for breakfast this morning. Okay, I'm guilty of doing that for too, particularly when I'm proud of a healthy, conscious dish that I've prepared for my husband as he's been, you know, choosing health and making a difference in the journey with cancer. And I'm proud to say that he's, you know, winning that. So with his health. And so, yeah, when you do post, it gives it extra depth and power if you do take that moment to set aside some time to get that intention clear. When you post it, I feel like the energy really comes through the post. And, you know, what is it that someone needs to hear right now? You'll find if you go to my Facebook page, Emily Miller, as a coach, I'm sharing a lot of Ziglar quotes, because I really believe that they provide hope and encouragement during these extraordinary times that we're living in, so that we can overcome whatever is coming up at the moment. We can be prepared for the worst and expect the best, as they say. And so, yeah, that was one of my tips. The other one is about the energy that you bring when you're going live. You know, you want that excitement and enthusiasm to really shine through. So a lot of us need to really practice just taking a deep breath and like getting energized before we go live, so that you can feel my excitement. You can feel like I'm, you know, happy to be here and confident in sharing. some of these tips, like the power of noticing and being noticed. Because how good does it feel, like, Danica, you're here with me, when you see on the screen like a comment that is, you know, recognizing that you are here live with me and you are showing support. Yes, go Team Ziegler. So I'm sure you get a sense of recognition and like going, you've been witnessed and seen. And so it feels really good. And one of my tips in this book from 5 years ago, still valid today, is if you can do nothing else every day, take 5 minutes and go be a positive person on the people that you want to make an impact. And these could be your clients or people you'd love to work with. They could be key people of influence who you want to build a relationship with, and just, you know, just show encouragement and support and add value. And Gary V, he actually calls this like adding your 2 cents, because people notice your 2 cents, and then if they're interested, they'll follow you back to your profile. And if you set up your online presence like the way I have done for clients and the way I'm teaching people, is they'll almost go into like a little rabbit hole in a good way, because hopefully they fall in love with your content. They keep wanting to read and discover more. And so if we've got lots of great content to share with people, then they're going to be entertained, they're going to be educated, and they're going to end up on your list, which you own. And then you can monetize that list by making offers and just giving people opportunities to do what Kyle Wilson talks about, hopping on the wheel. Because, you know, you can have free content, you can have paid services, like people can buy a book, they can buy a program, or they can choose to invest at a higher level when they feel ready and want to jump on that wheel with coaching, masterminds, and all of that. And so I'm excited because I'm getting ready to put together like a beta launch. If that's the right way you say it, beta. Let's call the whole thing off. No, just joking. I'm getting ready to put together a special offer for like the first 5 people who want to work with me, who want to get their online presence fully running up to speed, taking advantage of all the tips that I'm sharing, so we can really position you as a go-to person and make you look amazing, have your value so clear that people just go, oh, I get it. You're the person to go and see if I want to get ahead and get started fast online. And I can, you know, if they want to, if they're coming to me, this is what I offer. I offer you time-saving tips and cost-effective solutions so that you can get earning an income online fast, because, you know, money is important. As I had the quote last week that Ziegler shares about it's not everything, but it's kind of up there with oxygen. So yes, so that would be why I am all about this, and just really wanting to make life easy for people and simple, because I know the technology part of it can be overwhelming. I know there's so many amazing things out there, the shiny object syndrome. It's like, what should I do? What should I do? And so that's really where the coaching comes into play, because having someone like me to listen, to be a sounding board, to ask you those right questions, and also using personal development tools that exist to really get to understand you, your personality, who God created you to be. I strongly believe that there's a path for you that was just designed for you, and you don't need to be doing everything. You don't need to compare yourself to other people. I want to help you be you and own your value, own your story. So that was a little bit more about connecting the dots and the 3 steps you need to take. And I know last week we had some questions from people about the best tools to use for scheduling your social media and how often you need to be sharing content. And it always surprises people that you need to be sharing a lot more than you might expect. And the only reason for that is because the lifespan of posts is quite short unless you're getting a lot of engagement or you're paying for advertising for people to get their eyes on it. So in the interest of making sure that you're always being visible, there are some great tools out there that provide content that you can really customize and be like, oh my goodness, this person is everywhere and super consistent. And that is something that I have offered to my clients, and they have really appreciated it, because something that used to take hours. Oh, I see we have a quote, and so I'll come back to that point that I was making. It says a Zig quote: "You were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win and expect to win." Absolutely, yes. Yes, we were all born to win, and we all can win, because it's not a competition. We live in an age where we can promote each other, collaborate with each other. And so that's what the beauty of the IM Radio TV network is all about, is that collaboration and helping to, so we can all rise together, right? I'm a big believer of that. And in terms of what I was saying, my clients have appreciated when I can save them hours and also save them money, because there are tools that do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So then you don't have to necessarily go out and hire a virtual assistant to do all the work. Particularly when you're getting started, maybe you don't have the extra money and you want to be a bit more hands-on, you can do that. Or even if you do have a virtual assistant, you can give this to them and you won't have to hire them for as long to do the job. So yeah, you want social media to be fun, and you want it to be adding value. And if you've got content already, fantastic, because there's ways that you can just put it in and you can have it as content that gets shared again and again and again. Like I said, a lot of people won't see your content the first time around. Don't be offended. We're all busy. We're all living life. We're not living on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. So it's okay to share again. I highly encourage it, and to repurpose your content. So like you saw last week's video, I've repurposed it as a blog, and I'll probably make some little memes and things like that, so that then it becomes a way for keeping my message going out there again and again and again. Okay, we have another quote up here. Jim Rohn quote: "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." Yes. And so the secret is consistency. It is doing it every day. And so you want to be visible every day. And if you struggle with being visible every day, then let me know in the comments, because I'm more than happy to share my links to the resources I've been using with clients. And there are reasons that I recommend, some for different reasons. And so yeah, I'm just waiting to see if that's anybody here, because if you've got a lot of your own content, then I'd probably go with Social Bee, because that is one where you can put your content in and it will just drip feed it out at the best times to post. It does a lot of analysis for you, so it will schedule content when it knows your audience is going to be seeing it the most. And you can also post it once and have it never be seen again. You can do time-sensitive promotions. And if you have a lot of content that is evergreen, that's just continual value, like I worked with Amonda Rose Igo, the speaking success strategist, and she had a lot of blogs that she's written over the years. So we had those going continually out. And then she would do batches of videos. That's another great tip. If you want to be visible with video, you can go live like this, or you could actually take a day or two out of your schedule, record a batch of videos, get them edited professionally, and then put them up on YouTube, drip feed them, turn them into blogs, edit them into bite-sized pieces so that you can share on social media. And so those things are also what you can do with the social bee, and if it will release them as they get released live using something called an RSS feed. And I'm probably, hope I'm not confusing people with technical jargon. RSS feed is just, you know, something that knows when your blog goes live to the world. So it's just a neat bit of tech, and it's really simple to get it to share contents. Okay, I think there was a comment earlier from Danica saying, do you recommend paying for Facebook ads? And the answer is yes, I do recommend. If you have money for Facebook ads, you can be really strategic with your Facebook ads, and you can use them in a few different ways. I don't have time to go into all the ways that you can use Facebook ads. What I will say is when you're getting going, you want to make sure that you take the Facebook pixel, which is what Facebook uses to track your audience, onto your website so that they can build an audience of people who are visiting your website, liking your page. And they can then target people like that with your Facebook adverts to show your content. If you're wanting to get more likes to your page, you might want to be doing that when you're just getting started, so that you grow the audience. Although remember, you do not own your Facebook page. You can't take them to the bank. And if you want to see a really silly and funny 1-minute video, leave me a comment to say 1-minute video, and I will send it to you. I'm not going to play it live on air because the guy who made it, if this is an indication for you, his Instagram handle is Yoga Sex Rock God. So there is a little bit of profanity in it, but mild. And I just didn't feel comfortable sharing it live on it, but I'm more than happy to send it to you in private if you want to giggle about how he actually filmed himself going to the bank and asking if he could just deposit his 100,000 Instagram followers. It's hilarious. It's worth a minute of your time. So thanks for popping that up on screen to say ask for the 1-minute video. Yes. So ultimately, when you're using Facebook advertising, you want to be really specific. You want it to be so that you can get people onto your mailing list, because that is what you own, and that's how you will make money eventually online through what you're offering. And there are lots of great experts out there that I've followed, and I've implemented different strategies with clients based on who they are, what their message is, what they're looking to achieve. And so we would need to have a conversation to figure out what your best strategy is, Danica. Whether it's, you want to get people on to your email list to get an ebook, or whether you want to offer them a real cost-effective program that maybe is only like $27. $27 is kind of like a no-brainer. People can easily afford that. So if you are solving a problem for them, which is what we talked about last week, then they can see straight away, okay, if I invest my $27 here, I'm going to solve a problem. And of course, it's not going to solve the whole problem. Hint, hint. This is where you then say, oh, well, now that you know how to do this, the next step is and maybe you have another program, or maybe you invite them to apply for a strategy session as a coach, which I know you are, Danica. You're another Choose to Win Ziegler coach. So maybe you want to have them hop on a strategy call and see if it's a good fit for you. And maybe, because I've done this for other clients, where you have a warm audience, they already know, like, and trust you. And so you can advertise the coaching package straight away. It's a little trickier in terms of advertising, getting it right. You can a lot of testing and tweaking, and so the return on investment may not be as immediate. And yet, if you're going for a high ticket offer like coaching masterminds, then you only need to sell a few of those to get your money back. So you've got to weigh it up and figure out what's best for you. So I hope that made sense. I did see that you gave me some thanks and love, so appreciate that. Keep giving hearts and likes and sharing this. And if you want to follow me, I see the ticker is saying, just look for me. I am Emily Miller on social media. So yes, you're welcome. And I know we're getting close to the top of the hour, so I'm wondering if anybody else has any other questions. And Jeffrey, you're here. Hello.
I just want to. I am just over the top excited about everything that you're doing and what you offer people, Emily, with your business, connecting the dots. Very impressive, and not just because you're my wife. I know I'm biased a bit, but the bottom line is I know what you offer because you do that for us, for our business, and you are doing this for our network, the IM Radio TV network. You're building the presence. You're building what we call the back end, which promotes. I would love it if you'd explain to people. I know you have an offer for them today, and I'm excited about that. But to explain a little bit more to them about what they'll receive with your offer and about getting themselves out there and sharing their message to the world.
Well, thank you. Yes. So I am looking for 5 people who want to get together, who want to have some one-to-one time with me so I can work with you personally to get the clarity on your message and do some of that branding work for your accounts and things. But then we're also going to get together as a group, which is why I'm thinking 5 people, at least to get started, so I can really make sure I'm delivering the right amount of value and helping you prepare for your interview. I should do it this way, for your interview, because Jeff's on this side. Because Jeffrey is going to, as part of this package, is going to launch your show on the IM Radio TV network. So you are going to be all set for doing a live TV show broadcast like this. And I will be helping you to map out your content so you know what you're going to be talking about every week. And we're going to make sure that you have in place those money earning steps that we talked about last week and this week, so that you can be really making the most, maximizing, as Ziegler likes to say, maximizing the success of going live, using the technology like this. And Jeffrey Miller is a phenomenal host. He's a wonderful interviewer. He listens more than he talks, and he really knows the right questions to ask to make it a super exciting and fun show for your audience.
Thank you, Emily. And God endowed me with 2 ears and 1 mouth. And you all know I love to talk a lot, and people laugh about that. When does he ever shut up? But you know, the bottom line is I do listen twice as much as I talk. So yes, that said, yes, you will have your own show on our network. It's part of a package we're putting together, Emily and I jointly. Mm-hmm. She will handle everything as she suggested to you, as she has spoken to you about. I will interview you as I interview some of the greats we have on our show and will be having on our show, some of the names that people know and recognize, authors, speakers, etc. You will get that interview. You'll get introduced, and you'll be able to explain your story, your backstory of exactly who you are, what you're doing, what you want to do to offer to the world your special gift or gifts. And also, very, very important, none of us are supposed to work for nothing. All right. We are It is a normal thing to expect to be paid for a service that you provide. Therefore, Emily will teach you how to monetize that message, which is just, then you don't worry about it. And I said earlier today, you won't quit the 9 to 5 if you even go out and work the 9 to 5 right now with what's going on, but you won't quit the 9 to 5 until you've launched, until you've got a solid foundation underneath you, and then you'll grow your business from there. And Emily will help you with that in phases. And I'll tell you what, I've seen the package. I know what she's about to offer. All I can say is, wow.
Thank you. Yes. So, normally, yes, and I can see Danica is saying certificates of appreciation. That is indeed right. And you are a great listener, Jeffrey. So Danica's had the opportunity
Thank you, Danica,
to speak with Jeffrey and knows all about that. So yes. Yes. So I used to do this type of service for my clients one-to-one, and I would charge them thousands of dollars to do that. And I'm not going to do that here because I'm looking to work with you on a group basis and to help you get started fast. And because I know we're going through a tough situation now with people maybe not able to work the way they used to. So I am actually offering this at a phenomenal price. Lots of value here, as I've shared. And so the investment for working with me, having my husband, I have to keep remembering it's the opposite, having my husband interview you and getting you ready to be consistent live on a TV show like this is going to be $400. Yes, wow, whereas normally people would have paid $3,000.
Wow.
It's gonna be like, yeah, I've got goosebumps. Yes. So I'm excited about offering this, and I look forward to having conversations. So the first step really is just to get in touch, let us know you're interested, and watch for more announcements as we put together the information so there's total clarity on what's included. Jeffrey wanted to make an announcement today, so we're just doing that now. We're letting you know this is coming, this is available, and the sooner you say yes and get started, the sooner I can have that one-to-one conversation with you and help you discover and own your value and put together the brand so we can make sure you look amazing online. So
wow, Emily, that's fantastic. And folks, take advantage of that. I know the value that's in that, and I want you to consider that. When you make an investment, a lot of people say, oh, I have to spend $400. That's the wrong way to look at it. And I trust our listeners probably are not those people. But if you're thinking that way because money's tight, look at it this way. I'm making an investment in myself of $400 that's going to launch me into the next category of who I want to be to share my message to the world. It is an investment in you. And yes, it's an expense. Business has expenses. And if you're going to make it, you've got to spend a little bit. So $400, as we call it here in the good old US, is really next to wow. I honestly can tell you, I know what goes into putting these programs together and everything that Emily has to offer. And $400, I didn't know what she was going to say, and I am like, woohoo! Guys, take advantage. Not just because she's my wife. I just tell you, it is a phenomenal, phenomenal program. Take advantage of it. You cannot go wrong.
Thank you. And I will be putting up my customer client testimonials so you can see the value they've received when they've worked with me personally, one-to-one, at a lot more, at a higher cost. So you can have that confidence in my abilities in getting results. And I'm excited to be able to offer this because there will be that group component where we'll do the coaching together, and you'll learn how to go live effectively. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. We're coming to the top of the hour, 5 o'clock here in good old Florida, East Coast, USA. Sun is shining. It's about 90 degrees with a beautiful breeze out there today, and we're going to go take a little bit of advantage of that and have a lovely dinner. So, Emily, parting comments.
So remember, just be you, own your value, and if you're ready to connect the dots with me and Jeffrey, then get in touch, because we'd love to have you on board and help you shine your brightness and light online. Thanks for watching. God bless.
That's fantastic, Emily. I want to thank you so very much. I've thoroughly enjoyed your show. Last week, of course, we had a couple of minor glitches with the system and my computer.
Yeah.
We've got that all wrapped up. So thank you, folks, for being on with us. If you are watching this in a replay, this offer will be available for a very, very short time. I was told I have the liberty to say that. It is a time-sensitive offer because once Emily has the 5 people in this initial group, that's going to be it at that valued price, okay? So take advantage of it. Do yourself a favor. Jump on board and get the training, get everything you need that Emily's got to offer. You're going to love it. Well, thank you, Emily, for a great show. It's been awesome. Next week, Emily will be here without my mug in the camera. She's going to be sitting here in studio, taking it by herself. I am going to let go of the wheel and let her drive.
Yes.
And she does a very good job driving on the right side of the road in the United States.
Yes, even though I'm from England and learned to drive on the left-hand side. I am having a conversation with a few potential guests, so there's a good chance we will have somebody connected to GPS Life Journey, whether that's Dan Baker, the executive director, helping him do some hot seat training as like hands-on training, coaching to help with them and their marketing, or it may be Alice Scaff from Haven of Hope International. Both are nonprofits that are very near and dear to my heart. And so I'm excited to have either of them on, maybe even both. How amazing would that be if I could have 2 guests on at the same time? And yeah, just share their message and story. I know we can. We can have up to 6 people. So and of course, if you would like some hands-on training or have questions for me, please do get in touch, because this show is for you. I want to help connect the dots in your life and business. So yeah, watch this space. I'll be posting links to those blog resources I shared earlier. And yeah, just looking forward to keep sharing my pearls of wisdom, for want of a better word, and the light that is within me from all of my life experiences.
Excellent. Thank you, Emily. And on behalf of the I Am Radio TV network, I am Jeffrey Miller.
And I am Emily Miller.
And this is Emily Miller, and we are the Millers. Had a little delay there. That was funny. So thanks very, very much for being with us. Again, check our page on Facebook, our I Am Radio TV page on Facebook. You will see the new shows coming on. You'll see the new hosts coming on. There'll be a regular schedule being posted, so you'll know when my show, Interactive Interviews, is coming on, where I'll be interviewing what we call the masters. And also those folks that have taken up Emily's offer, they're going to get the same interview that the masters get when I bring them on and ask those questions about how were they and why and how did they have become so successful. And by the way, we are only interviewing folks with just amazing integrity. That's the only folks we're going to interview. So you are going to get the best of the best. And there's some wonderful people in the lineup coming up. We got about 6 or 7 over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned to the I Am Radio TV network. On behalf of my beautiful wife, Emily Miller, and myself, I am Jeffrey Miller. And here we go for another day. Cheers, folks. We love you all. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.
Bye.